About this incident with Pat?
Yes, well then Pat invited me to come up and stay with him in Wigan at his family's home a couple of times. And the love in the family was extraordinary. Johnny had been in the Second World War. He'd been captured in Changi, imprisoned in Changi. According to the story, he was regarded as the best thief in Changi and had to save the lives of all sorts of people by the bits of food that he was able to steal. That when he came back to England after the war, Johnny was given a job, as a lot of the returning soldiers were, in one of the cotton mills. And one of the things he learnt very quickly in his first day at work, it was a cutter. The materials were coming through somehow on a roller, and the cutters came down, and then he had to put his hand in and pull them all into a bin. And he realised very quickly that if he got tired and was slow, he could lose his hand. So when it came to lunchtime, Johnny wandered through the factory till he worked out what was the most central machine in the factory. And he picked up half a dozen, or a few rolls of materials and stuck it up the machine and stopped the whole factory for a few days. He was immediately discharged, but it was considered that he must have been a mental case after his experiences in Changi, and so he was given a total pension from then on. And Johnny would spend much of his days later smoking on the top of the double-decker buses going around different parts of Lancashire. Pat had an extraordinary love for Johnny, and I think one of the reasons Pat really took me into his confidence, he said that Johnny loves you, you know. And so that was, but the other thing was, Pat said one day to me, you know, all the stuff we go on in Rome, all the discussions and the debates and the arguments, if it hasn't got meaning here in this family, in this part of England, it's got no meaning at all. And that reminded me of, in later years, what Ted Kennedy said. He judged every bit of legislation, or what anybody said, how does it affect the weakest and the poorest in this country, the Aborigines.